All right, SOFI update here on the 12th. So today we actually broke through the top of the wedge. You can see here we broke through it a little bit, but then we failed and came back down here to 707. We all know the deal with the Fed. They were saying 3 rate cuts. Today Powell made it down to 1 rate cut, potentially in September. Obviously, that can change. They could next month come out and say, oh, the data is different now. Now we're thinking about doing 3 rate cuts. So I put some weight into it, obviously, because it's going to affect the price action, but it could change over the next month or two as well. So let's just look at the price action and kind of ignore that. So if we broke through here, we basically hit the supply zone and then came back down. Short term, there's a gap down here at $7. I bet we hit that $7 gap. I really wasn't liking this price action anyway. I didn't say anything in the last video, but this is ABC right here. This is 5 waves. And then this is basically an ABC move as well. So I didn't really like the price action because I don't really want to start an uptrend with an ABC move. So what I think this could possibly be, this is definitely another possibility for the stock. And this would just mean that we are still in that B wave, but A ends right here. And let's just see how long that took. That took about 7 months. So we're obviously way past 7 months. It's been almost a year in this pattern. But instead of having this wedge that broke, it's getting to the very end of it. It has like maybe a month and you're going to break through one of the sides. I'll still keep an eye on that wedge. But the price action is actually suggesting that maybe this is a bigger wedge. So let's just look at potentially a bigger wedge that's forming right here. What if this is actually A, B, C, we're working on D, and then we have an E wave down? Because this has got to break one way at some point. It can't chop for, I mean, I guess it can, but it's unlikely that it's going to chop all the way till earnings. I think earnings will probably get a run up at some point in the next month or two. And I think it's very likely that this pattern could play out. This right here from the bottom only took about a month and 10 days. We're pretty much, I think earnings are maybe, I'm trying to think when earnings are. They're probably early August. What if we run up here and make an ABC move? Like this. Up here, the top here was at July of 23. We have December of 23. What if we make another top in July around $9? And then we make the final move down. Let's see, that would take about 4 months from the top. And we kind of bottom here around the election. So maybe in November we bottom. And then we finally get the move higher. So if we were aiming to see how far or how high this is going to go, 640 would still be the bottom. The top here was at 1170. Bottom here at 424. So I would be looking for maybe $2.16 higher than this would take it to about 1386. So something like this. And it'd probably be about the same length and time. So you'd be looking at something topping about 8 months later. So maybe in August of 2025. So that's kind of the other pattern that I'm looking at. now that we kind of had a false break on this right here, and it looks like an ABC move, I would want to see if this was actually going to be the breakout for the falling wedge that I've been talking about in the previous videos. I would have wanted this to be an impulsive move, and it's not an impulsive move, it's an ABC move. But ABC move is completely fine for a move up here to $9 or into this box. And remember, I've been talking about this gap fill at 850 for a long time. This would hit the gap fill sometime in July around $9, and then we would sell off all the way into the election. And that's kind of where I'm talking about for the top in the overall market anyway, is a move up here to like in the middle part of July and then sell off into the election. And then we would have a crazy move higher. 1386 would be the minimum. The maximum would be all the way up here at 2176. Anywhere from 1386 to 2176. So that's just another way of looking at it. That's very possible. So I don't necessarily think that today, even though we sold off from 740, is necessarily means that we're just going to stay down here forever. I think there's a very good chance that we could still rise into July up here to $9, but we still need to break above 794. That's been resistance since April 8th. And if we don't break above that, we come up here and just keep on rejecting, then it's going to make it more or less likely. So break $8, and then I think we are headed up here to 850 to $9, and you'd probably want to sell around there considering this is a corrective move. And so this is basically what I'd be looking for. That, and then I'd probably be looking for something like, the good news is if you're buying down here, you're getting in on the bottom still. It's probably not going to go below that if this pattern plays out. This is just a contracting wedge. It just means that the bottom goes higher and the top goes lower, and then eventually it breaks. This is a bullish pattern. So this is also an accumulation pattern too for like institutions. They can accumulate really easily here because they have to just accumulate down here, let it pop, accumulation, let it pop, accumulation, and then finally break out. So that's my analysis on SOFI today. No breakout today, but I still think there's a very good chance we can hit 850 to $9 sometime in July or August, heading into earnings, and then earnings might be a sell-off into the election. So I'll leave it at that, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe for more updates. Let's hope this plays out because this price action is really horrible right now, and I'm ready for it to pop. So that's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next video.